The following is a commercial program paid for by Heritage Agriculture. The opinions and views expressed belong to its sponsors and are not those of Nexstar Broadcasting, Inc., this station, or their affiliates or employees.
Welcome to Farm Talk, where we look at issues that affect agriculture and ranching here in the natural state. Brought to you by Heritage Agriculture. Here is your host, Mike Linton.
Welcome to Arkansas Farm Talk. I'm your host, Mike Linton. Today's guest is the governor of the great state of Arkansas, Governor Asa Hutchinson. Governor, welcome to Arkansas Farm Talk.
Well, thank you, Mike. It is great to be with you today.
Well, I know you've got a full plate. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be with us today, and let's talk farming and ranching for just a few minutes.
I love it. Let's go.
Governor, the Department of Agriculture is dedicated to the development and implementation of policies and programs for Arkansas farmers and ranchers. I know your department has went through a transformation. Tell me about it.
Well, of course, this transformation started years ago when the Department of Agriculture was actually created. And so that brought different agriculture-related agencies together under one umbrella. And then, of course, since I've been governor, Wes Ward has led that department, and it's such a great team effort. And they have brought the agricultural agencies from forestry to poultry and livestock, all together under the Department of Agriculture, and I think this is working well. And the whole idea is that they serve the agricultural community.
Yes.
And they listen to them, they serve them, they're advocates for them, and there's been some question about the plant board, for example, and the plant board is so critical to the farmers. Somewhat controversial, but the most important thing is that they are actual farmers and they have independent regulatory authority, and they have carried out that responsibility. And so the transformation, I think, is going well. Someone remarked the other day that they didn't think we could get through COVID very well without transformation.
Oh, okay.
And it was an interesting comment, and I got to thinking about it. Before I had 42 different departments that reported directly to me.
Wow.
With all that's going on in our state and nation now with COVID, I'm grateful that I've got 15 very good secretaries that lead these departments because they manage it well. They report to me, obviously, but Secretary Ward is doing a good job, and proud of the reputation of Arkansas agricultural nationally.
Yes.
And I think it starts with the agency. It starts with the farmers.
Yes, farmers and ranchers. Yep.
Farmers and ranchers and how they produce, but we want to be able to support them through our Department of Agriculture.
Yes, well, I had Secretary Ward on, a couple of weeks ago, and then a few weeks ago I had Secretary Johnny Key on, because Lone Oak is getting ready to build a new business academy that I've kind of got a little hand in. I'm helping, and we're super excited about that. Business academy / trade school, and had Secretary Johnny Key on to talk about that. So.
Well, that's critically important, the enhancement of our workforce training, our trade schools that you mentioned, and so we want to be able to expand those in Arkansas and invest in those. So
yes,
congratulations on that initiative.
Yes, sir. Let me ask you this, Governor, the trade war is really hurting our farmers and ranchers. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, it doesn't take you very long in Arkansas politics to understand how important our producers are in agriculture.
Yes.
And how they rely upon the global market. We're such great producers that we produce more than's needed here in Arkansas, more that's needed really in the nation, and we have to have access to those global markets.
Yes.
We're great producers. And so ever since I've been engaged from Congress to now in the political arena, I have been an advocate for enhanced access to global markets. And we've been struggling lately because of the China trade war. Then we had the North America Free Trade Agreement that was in limbo for a while. But in the end, the USMCA, our new NAFTA, is an incredible victory for our farmers, our producers, because it guarantees the access to the Canadian market, to the to South American, Mexico market as well, two of our great places that we export to. In terms of China, that's a little bit different story. Our farmers were so supportive of a tough negotiation stance with China because they have put up barriers for us to get our agricultural products there.
Yes.
But you know, in the end, we got hit by COVID, which hurt the communication back and forth and the relationship. They agreed to phase 1 in our trade agreement that they were going to take, I think it was $200 billion of our agricultural products. Yes. And that has been beneficial, but we're not moving toward phase 2. That is off the table right now, and it's a strained relationship. So we've got to look to other global markets, but I understand how that's hurt our soybean producers, our rice producers. You know, poultry, you know, they opened up their doors to poultry, but it's a day in and day out thing because they'll put a squeeze on you and say, well, you're not meeting this phytosanitary clause in the agreement. Sure. And so it's a tough world there in terms of China. I hope that it improves in the long term, but it will be long term versus short term.
Yeah, well, I know you will agree with me when I say our Arkansas farmers and ranchers are the greatest in the world. The things that they have to overcome and endure every day, and I know that you're a big supporter of our Arkansas farmers and ranchers, and 1 out of 6 jobs in the state of Arkansas is directly related, to farming and ranching.
Well, it is, Mike, and it's also about our culture and way of life. I grew up on a cattle poultry farm in northwest Arkansas, and so I saw it firsthand, the struggle my dad had, but also the love of the land and how that gets in your veins. Yes. And that's part of, well, that is who we are in this state. It's a big part of it. You mentioned our beef producers. I mentioned China. I'll never forget going over there to China and meeting with Ambassador Branstad, who's our U.S. ambassador to China, and he was so excited because they finally opened up, he could get U.S. beef. And they have been somewhat of a beneficiary of opening up that market.
Yeah, well, Governor, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Arkansas Farm Talk and Governor Asa Hutchinson.
Since 1921, we've been supporting rice farmers across America. These are the farmers who own our co-op, who prosper together, striving to do more for their communities, going deeper, working smarter, growing stronger. That's how we make good even better. That good comes from the time and toil they're passing down of a way of life that supports not only their families, but families all over the world. So the world can be served with great food. Riceland. United, we grow.
In good times and hard times, Arkansas Farm Bureau is there. We're always working, so our state's farmers and ranchers can continue to put food on store shelves and on your family's dinner table. We support training for medical care in rural communities and the industries that provide materials needed for critical supplies. Arkansas Farm Bureau, working every day to keep Arkansas strong.
The Case-IH sales event is the best time to buy. Get 0% financing on all new Farmall, Vestrum, Maxim, and Puma tractors, plus hay tools. Come in today. The sales event ends July 31st.
Keeping farms running, construction moving, and towns maintained is essential. That's why Kubota is working to keep you working. Right now, get 0% financing and no payments for 90 days. Offer expires May 31st. Visit KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer. Kubota. Together, we do more.
No matter how you buy ag equipment, AgDirect can finance it. We're powered by Farm Credit, people who know agriculture. So along with options to purchase, lease, or refinance, AgDirect offers attractive rates, helpful service, and ag-friendly terms. When you compare the price of iron, be sure to compare your cost of money. Ask for Ag Direct. Built for agriculture. Powered by Farm Credit.
Make sure you're prepared for the busy planting season ahead with Great Plains planters and drills available at Heritage Agriculture. The Great Plains lineup of planters and drills, including the 3P4025AH twin row and YP825 planters, are accurate, dependable planting solutions, ready to help you kick off your planting season. Heritage Agriculture, the 7 locations to serve you. We're customer focused, customer driven, and we want your business.
Welcome back to Arkansas Farm Talk. I'm with Governor Asa Hutchinson. Governor, the coronavirus has crippled our economy. Let's talk about that in just a minute.
Well, it has been an enormous challenge, and here in Arkansas, we're blessed because we actually didn't shut down our economy. We didn't do a shelter-in-place order.
Yes. Thank you, Governor.
Well, it was enormous pressure, as everybody remembers, that there was only a handful of states that did not do a shelter-in-place order. And I knew that that was not right for Arkansas, but because we didn't do that, you know, there's probably 60-some thousand that did not go onto the unemployment rolls.
Yes.
And it also was easier to start our economy whenever nationally we started re-engaging in the economy. So we're stronger today because of some of the decisions we made early on. But it has been challenging for us because we're dependent upon what happens in California in our manufacturing, what happens globally in our production and the commerce. And so it's hurt us in agriculture, it's hurt us in manufacturing. Well, obviously the small businesses have
it's hurt our
struggled as
entire
well.
state.
Absolutely. But we're coming back from that.
are.
I mean, we are coming back. We're coming back very strong. More people are going back to work every day. I was delighted to see Amazon coming into Little Rock, create 1,000 jobs. Those are, hey, those are job opportunities for people. And I've actually got from some of my trips businesses that are waiting to locate in Arkansas. They just want to be able to travel here first. And the international travel restrictions have made that impossible. So a lot is happening here that's good. But we're going to have to get through it. And let me just tell you, I brought in here, you saw my mask.
I like your fancy mask.
All right, this is a FFA mask promoting agriculture, but this is the most important thing. Now, we don't have a statewide mandate that everybody has to wear a mask, but I'm asking everybody to wear a mask whenever you cannot socially distance. Now, if you're on the farm, on the tractor, you don't need to worry about it.
We live in rural America, so we, you know, our day is a little bit different.
It is different, but if you're going into the store, have the courtesy to wear a mask. That is just important for us to be able to have school next year, to get back to sports and more normal activity. And so it's really against the American character, actually, to do this, but it is important for us. But we're really working hard at it every day, trying to reduce the number of cases, our growth in cases, reduce the spread, but it takes everybody's cooperation to do that. And we're looking forward to the time that we can get back to a more normal life. It will happen, but we're going to have to work our way through this until we get a vaccine.
Well, you know, you will agree with this. Arkansans are resilient. And if anybody can get through it in this country, we can.
Oh, no question about it. No question about it.
But we have to stand together.
We have to be together to get through this, and I don't like it whenever people get divided and they start arguing about things. Let's just exercise individual responsibility.
Yes, sir.
Let's do the right thing, and let's use common sense.
Yes, sir.
And listen to the medical professionals. But we're doing it well in Arkansas, but we're just not through it yet.
Well, you know, together we can get through anything. If, you know, if we're fighting one another, all we're doing is just dragging it out.
Yep.
So we just have to get together and we'll get through this thing. Let me ask you this. The USDA Coronavirus Food Assistance Program, CFAP, is a program dedicated to helping our farmers and ranchers in this difficult time. Let's just talk about that. And do you think there'll be any additional help in the future?
I think it will probably be after the election, at least into the fall, before they do another federal assistance program. You've got the House had one version of it, the Senate hasn't agreed to it. We're starting to get into the fall election time, And they're also looking at, where is the greatest need? And I think we're still trying to determine where are the greatest needs out there.
Yes.
Obviously, agriculture has continued needs, but you've also got in Arkansas, the tourism industry is the second leading economic driver, and it's really been hurt. And so is there an economic package that should go to them? Is it going to be more money to our schools as they open up and they need more assistance? Is it going to be some of the displaced workers that we need to provide some continued assistance to? So I think they're waiting for the dust to settle a little bit. There's a lot of pressure from other states that the federal government needs to come in there and bail them out in terms of their budget. Arkansas does not need to be bailed out.
We
for our
don't want
budget.
to bail out.
Nope, we don't
just
want.
Give us an opportunity.
Exactly.
Give us an opportunity to work.
And so I think they need to be measured on that. But I expect some of the food assistance programs to be able to continue. They've been very effective, and that's certainly important for our farmers.
Well, I know some of the checks have started going out, and they've already started talking about a phase 2. I was just curious what you might know.
Well,
because it's important, but the other aspects are important that you just touched on too.
But this is a farm show.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So no, I expect that that assistance will continue to get some federal support.
Yes, sir. Let's talk about your Economic Recovery Task Force. Tell me about that just a little bit.
Well, as we started lifting some of the restrictions on our small businesses particularly, we knew we needed to have a shot in the arm in terms of our economy, and we had a lot of federal money here that needed to be guided. And so I set up the Economic Recovery Task Force. We have farmers and ranchers on there, but business people, small business, larger manufacturing, and they're helped to guide our thinking as we try to push our economy to a higher level. And it's led by Stuart Walton, but we have Secretary Ward is one of the key leaders that is on there as well. And so they've come out with a number of different recommendations that we're trying to implement. One of them was a business immunity liability as they open up in the middle of a pandemic. And so that was done by executive order. And then we had our small business grant program that helps businesses as they reopened. That's been helpful as well. And so we'll continue to look for them as they have new guidance and ideas, but they've been very helpful, a way for every industry to come in and say, we want to be involved, we want to be able to shape the direction Arkansas goes, and they've been a good tool for that.
Well, it's very important, and I know that you're very open. They need a voice, and you need to hear.
Exactly.
You need to hear what's going on out there on the front lines.
And I'd rather get it in that fashion than from social media.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's really good from that standpoint. Everybody knows where their voice can be heard, and they give it straight to me.
You bet. We're going to take a quick break with Governor Hutchinson. We'll be right back with Arkansas Farm Talk.
No matter how you buy ag equipment, AgDirect can finance it. We're powered by Farm Credit, people who know agriculture. So along with options to purchase, lease, or refinance, AgDirect offers attractive rates, helpful service, and ag-friendly terms. When you compare the price of iron, be sure to compare your cost of money. Ask for AgDirect, built for agriculture, powered by Farm Credit.
There's no better time than now to get a great deal on the Kubota BX tractor. Mow, haul, dig, lift. With the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S. for over 10 years, you own the land. Now, make it yours. Get the Kubota BX 2380 for payments as low as $99 a month now through June 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
During these busy and challenging times, Krone wants you to know we've got your back. So we're offering you 90 days of deferred payments on select models of Krone mowers, tedders, rakes, and round balers. That's right, make no payments for 90 days. And you can choose from 0% financing options to get the new Krone equipment you need. Check out these low monthly payment examples on select models of new Krone equipment.
A lot of land comes with a lot of work. The new Kubota MX Series has a lot to offer, including the versatility to mow, move hay bales, grade roads, and clear brush and snow. An optional spacious cab to keep you comfortable in any conditions. A front-end loader with excellent loader lift capacity, hydrostatic or gear transmission options, and affordably priced. Visit your local Kubota dealer today.
Case IH sales event is the best time to buy. Get 0% financing on all new Farmall, Vestrum, Maxim, and Puma tractors, plus hay tools. Come in today. The sales event ends July 31st.
Since 1921, we've been supporting rice farmers across America. These are the farmers who own our co-op, who prosper together, striving to do more for their communities, going deeper, working smarter, growing stronger. That's how we make good even better. That good comes from the time and toil they're passing down of a way of life that supports not only their families, but families all over the world. So the world can be served with great food. Riceland. United, we grow.
Make sure you're prepared for the busy planting season ahead with Great Plains planters and drills available at Heritage Agriculture. The Great Plains lineup of planters and drills, including the 3P4025AH twin row and YP825 planters, are accurate, dependable planting solutions, ready to help you kick off your planting season. Heritage Agriculture, the 7 locations to serve you. We're customer focused, customer driven, and we want your business.
Welcome back to Arkansas Farm Talk. I'm with Governor Asa Hutchinson. Governor, we've talked about a lot of stuff this morning. Let's talk about the meat processors and the packing plants, because I know they've went through a lot, had to shut a bunch down. Now they're starting to try to open them back up a little bit.
Well, they are. We've been really fortunate in Arkansas. We have 60 meat or food processing plants here in this state, which is a lot.
It is a lot.
And we have not had them closed down for long periods of time. A couple of them have closed down for a couple days just to do a deep cleaning. But I've been so impressed with our processing companies that have been committed to the safety of their employees and their staff and their product, and to make sure that our food supply continues. One thing the world realized very quickly is that in a pandemic or a national emergency, you better keep that food supply moving.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
nobody
sir.
likes it when they go to the grocery store and they don't see those products there on the shelves.
No.
And so they've been very good. I was down in DeQueen last week.
Okay.
And there you have Pilgrim's Pride.
Yes.
I met with the manager and he was briefing me on their safety protocols, and they have a COVID coordinator.
Oh, wow.
A COVID superintendent,
Okay.
full-time person that just helps educate their employees on being safe and how to make sure that you don't get or spread the virus, not just in the plant, but while you're out in the community as well. So it was that education effort that they're fully engaged in. That's what keeps them open.
Yeah.
And then you have others like Tyson's that they're testing all their employees and their staff, try to identify areas of concern. You know, in the Delta area, we haven't had any real problems in our processing, whether it's rice producers or others, and I think that's because it's probably a little bit more open air, maybe not quite as labor intensive.
Yes, sir.
But that
people don't have to stand side by side. to
Exactly,
work. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
But they're doing an incredible job,
Yes.
and I think it's been an example of the nation as to the investment that they've made in the safety side of their workplace for their employees to
Yeah.
keep them moving.
Well, I can tell you, and I know you will agree with this, this is one thing that makes us the greatest country in the world. And our Arkansas farmers and ranchers, we can produce enough food to feed the world, and it's the safest in the world. And you know, there's a cost involved in that.
It is, and we also are able to innovate every day. When there's a challenge that comes in, what's the solution to get around that
Yes,
and
sir.
keep that production going? You know, last year we had the floods. 2019 was not a good year. This year we got the pandemic that you got to work through. we keep producing because the world depends upon us.
Yeah, you know, everybody asks me all the time, well, how's COVID-19 affected you guys, you know? Well, I mean, of course it's affected us just like it has everything else, but the rains have affected us. You know, these last 2 years are two of the wettest on history.
Yep.
19 was number 2, and 2020 is looking to be number 3. And just our farmers getting their crops in, and then hopefully we'll have some dry weather to get them out.
I think so.
I hope so. Keep your fingers crossed.
You're going to have a good couple of months here.
We need it. Let's touch on this real quick. Tell me about your Buffalo River Conservation Committee.
Well, the Buffalo River Conservation Committee is really designed to help farmers and ranchers in the Buffalo River watershed to have some additional sources of funding in the event they wanted to put some conservation measures in place. And to coordinate that effort in its total voluntary basis. One of the things that I believe in fundamentally is the right to farm. And that is that, because my dad had the farm, had the acres, you had to make the decisions as to how you're going to make a living off of it. You know, but we, you know, in terms of the Buffalo River, we wanted to provide assistance for the farmers to have good conservation efforts. That's the whole objective of it. In addition, you know, there are some old sources of pollution that might go into the river, such as from a city or from some old tourism facilities there, not related to farming, but they needed some assistance as well because they're contributing to challenges in the river.
Yeah.
So it's something that farmers should recognize is to support them. Farmers and ranchers in that Buffalo River watershed. We want to keep the river pristine, but we also recognize that people need to make a living there also, and we want to be able to do both.
Yes, sir. Well, you know, you better than anybody understands farming and ranching. You grew up in it, you got a background. I know how much you appreciate our farmers and ranchers, and I just want to tell you, being an equipment dealer, also a farmer and a rancher, you know, we appreciate everything that you, your staff, and your team do for the farmers and ranchers in the state of Arkansas. I'd like to give you a couple Heritage Agriculture caps.
I love it.
Okay?
Thank you.
And also, I would like to give you Make Farming Great Again stickers. I just got off the National Dealer Board, and when I was in Washington, I actually gave the president one. So I'd like to give you those. And you know, here again, I would like to thank you again for everything that you and your team do for farmers and ranchers here in the Natural State.
It's a joy to be with you, Mike, and thank you for what you do in leading agriculture, but also being a voice for agriculture.
Well, thank you, Governor. And anything we can do to help, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Arkansas Farm Talk. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for watching Arkansas Farm Talk, brought to you by Heritage Agriculture and these fine sponsors.